Show with Alex Bolourchi.
Hello and welcome to the Orange County Crosstalk Show. I'm Alex Bolourchi. This program, the Orange County Crosstalk Show, is a special program that is coming to you from Adelphia Public Access, a cable company right in Anaheim. This program focuses on a special event and cultural activities that's happening right here in Orange County. In this edition of this program, I have the honor to have Mr. Liam Kennedy, who have recently traveled to Iran, and he's going to share with us his experience of his trip. And in fact, he went with a number of his colleagues. But before I ask him to introduce himself, I'd like to show you a segment of video that he brought for us as a gift. So we're going to see a segment of this video. Let's watch it together. It's a very short segment, and it's about, I believe it's 30 seconds. Yes, the segment you just watched was produced by Mr. Liam Kennedy, who is a TV producer and very active member of Orange County Astronomers Society, basically, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So before I ask you any question, what was your motivation to go to Iran, and what was the whole, the idea behind your trip?
Sure.
Would you please give us a little brief on your activities in Orange County?
Of course. Yeah, I'm actually with Orange County Astronomers, and we're one of the largest astronomy clubs in the USA, based
in
right
Orange County?
in Orange County. That's right.
I had no idea.
I know, we have some effort to get that information well known there, but we have nearly 900 members.
900 members.
And we've been around since 1967. So you can appreciate I'm interested in astronomy, and the main reason for going to Iran was actually for astronomy. Right now, or back on June the 8th, was a very rare occurrence that only happens every 122 years, where the planet Venus goes between the sun and the Earth, and you get to see it going across the surface of the sun.
Oh.
A very rare, event that many astronomers want to go and witness, and Iran was a very good place to view that.
I read in the media about this, that this is happening in Iran, and they said, well, I was, hesitant about that. I didn't know a group went there to. In fact, they said it's the best way in terms of visibility. Correct? What is this? What's the reason behind it?
What it is, you've just got to imagine that there were many places around the world where you could have seen the Venus transit. In fact, you could have seen it just on the east coast of the USA, but unfortunately, you wouldn't have got to see all of it.
I see.
There are particular places on the Earth to do with the way that the Earth is spinning and the time that the Venus transit occurs that makes one place better than another. And Iran was good for weather, and it was good for the time of day that it was occurring. And but I think many people that I talked to about before I was going would have thought that even though Iran was the best astronomically to view it, they were thinking it was probably likely to be the worst for a bunch of Americans to actually.
I was going to ask you. That's led to my next question. With all these news that we hear from Middle East, especially with regard to Iran, how did you find it? I mean, did you find it? Were they? How did they react to the American to be there?
Well, I think that's probably one of the most amazing things about the trip, was really the story that I've come back with, that Iran is really totally different on the ground as to what you'd expect.
As you hear from the
from the media and things like that, and just the own ignorance that we have, because we don't choose to look very far into this. It was very, very welcoming, and in fact, the first thing that happened to us while we were there is that we went to the Venus Transit Conference, which was at one of the local universities, and in Tehran. That's right.
Tehran, for our audience, is the capital of Iran, correct?
Correct. Yeah. That's right.
And then, So the conference, when was this happening? It was in June, correct? You mentioned?
Yes, that's right.
So
I
any
was there
particular
from
date?
May 28th through June 14th, and I
Okay.
think it was just the first few days, 3 days that we were there.
How many people are in your group? You know, because
Yeah.
I heard that you went with a number of
That's
American.
right. Yeah, it was mostly Americans. There were,
Okay.
in fact, 10 of us
Okay.
from very diverse backgrounds. We weren't all from Orange County.
And all from Orange County. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were from the East Coast, from the West Coast,
Okay.
from the central part
They're
of the
all
country.
amateur
They're all
astronomers.
amateur astronomers. Some of them are more into astronomy than
Okay.
others, but it
So
was a very
tell me a
mixed
little
group.
more, sorry to interrupt you, about this amateur group. How amateur are they? I mean, that's the kind of question for me. Are they really good at it? Because I know I talked to Mike Simon, your friend,
Yes.
and he seems to be so knowledgeable about this
No,
kind of thing.
and that is the point. Being an amateur doesn't mean that you can't be an expert
Okay,
at it.
I
It
see.
probably usually just means you're not paid
I
to
see.
do it.
That's
so,
okay.
but you often spend as much money as some small countries do
Okay.
on their telescopes. In fact, that's one of the things. The Orange County astronomers, we have a larger telescope in our observatory that's near Temecula. We have a larger telescope than the largest telescope
see.
in Iran
I
right now.
see.
So. The OCA, we've got bigger telescopes than some countries have.
You know, the interesting is, beside seeing for the Venus transit situation or advantage, I would say, what was your reaction? How did you find the society? How did you have any perception about Iran before you went there?
No, I really did. I think that was a good thing in the way. I only decided to go just really about 3 weeks before the trip was planned to go. Surprised everybody. And that meant I didn't have any chance to prepare.
Oh, I see.
So I went with my own preconceptions
I see.
about what was going on.
Okay.
I had an idea that Americans would be more welcome than you'd believe, and but I just did not understand how welcome we would be. And just as an example, just the first few days that's there, I think that the next video that I've got for you is really from the Venus Transit Conference.
Is that right? Okay.
And I think you'll get an idea of a little bit about what you're going to see there are the people who are at the conference, the number of people that are women, the young people that are in the audience, and it will give you an idea, I think, of some of.
So let's see the next segment of the video, and here is if you want to explain what's going on. This is the conference.
Yeah.
You can have the audio up here, I guess.
Yeah, it's the audio is pretty low on this bit,
Okay.
but it's really just talking about. These are people from our group
Here's
doing
Mike here,
presentations.
is Mike
That's right.
Simmons,
And,
Mr.
and
Mike
I'll
Simmons.
explain who Mike Simmons is in just a second. But have a look at that audience there and count the number of female students and members of the public that are there. This isn't just students. And this in itself is something that people are surprised to see.
I see.
Because they associate the hijab, the covering that Islamic is the dress code in the Islamic Republic of Iran to be something that really does restrict the way that women are treated in society.
Exactly.
And what I found is that it's not quite the way that you'd imagine.
I noticed the audience were mostly young people, and it seems to me that is the new generation.
They were.
Generation.
I could make a joke here and just say that one of the reasons that I go to Iran is because there are so many young women who are interested in astronomy. But honestly, folks, that's not why.
I see. Okay, I understand that.
But yes, that is true. And they came to the conference. They weren't just students. They were people that were visiting from all around the country.
برنامه برخورد اندیشه ها را مشاهده می‌کنید. برای پخش آگهی و یا اسپانسرشیپ این برنامه با ما تماس بگیرید.